Hi, hello, and welcome to the final episode of the auto level. Oh my god. Yeah, back in December of last year, which, yes, that was like 9 months ago, I started work on building this auto level right here. And this is one of the two levels I really wanted to get done before 2.2. First one being Kratos, and yeah, now this. Because I'm actually really proud of this level, and I don't want this to just like kind of disappear. Oh yeah, by the way, I've made a new background for that part. Just like made those blocks fall down and then they like swoop out of the way right at the end. I don't know, the old background there was Garbo, so I just replaced it. So yeah, this is what we did in the previous episode, this dual part. Very proud of this. Took a long time to get the gameplay to work, so hopefully it won't be the same with this, but yeah. We actually started building some of the gameplay in the previous episode, and I think I want to stick with this actually. First thing I think I want to do starting on in this area is I kind of want to try and make an effect. I'm very nervous for this, actually. Let's go to like layer 5 here. I think I want to go hexagon here. Just disable the rotation for now, and I'm gonna make that like just color 1 for now once again. And this is gonna have group 62, and this is gonna follow the player exactly. So you can see that follows the player there. And then what I want to do is I want to take this and then scale it up and then give this a new group of 63. And what this is going to do is I'm going to use a literally, where's the trigger? Follow trigger, here it is. So 63 is gonna follow 62, and I'm gonna do a modifier of 0.9. I think that's how it works. I don't know, I'm gonna be honest, I've never used this trigger before. Yeah, so you can kind of see how that like tracks onto the player, right? For now, I'm not gonna do the X modifier, I'm just gonna do the Y modifier. And then I'm gonna take this, scale it up, and repeat the process. And you can see that kind of has like a very interesting effect to it, right? Oh, that looks really weird in game. Oh, I don't know about that. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna have to continue this fanning outwards, I think. Yeah. Okay, and then from here, I might just try and make my own giant hexagon. Ah, that is a bit of a different angle there. Uh-oh. Okay, custom hexagon has been made. If I make that like black or something, but make that not follow at all. Because I want something to be a baseline in the center there. Maybe I'll make that follow as well. Scale it up a bit. That's a bit more reasonable. I kind of like it. I kind of like it. It gives you a good sense of scale, I feel like, which I kind of like. Yeah, okay. So the plan now is I'm going to change the color of all of these to something else. Let's go next free and just copy the color of the background straight up. Okay, so I've just noticed these hexagons are slightly transparent. You can see this block behind them. This block, by the way, was a bit of an experiment. I don't know if I'm going to keep this, but just in case, I'm going to chuck it down the bottom here. Between you and me, I kind of doubt it though, but let's just leave it there anyway. All right. I guess I can probably like triple these up, and that shouldn't be see-through at all, and that should be fine, I think. Okay, now you know what time it is? It's time for my favorite time of day, dude. It's time to layer. I love layering, bro. Okay, so they should all be layered properly. Not that you'll be able to see it really, but not very obvious now, but I'm also going to go ahead and change the colors a little bit. Yeah. So this inner one, I want to be a decent bit brighter and a bit less saturated. And just kind of go down the chain here and slowly make the brightness like lower, saturation up a bit more, like that type of thing, right? Yeah, that's looking a lot better, dude. That looks cool. That looks really cool, actually. I'm quite proud of that. Look at me go, dude. Effect creator and all. I'm going to turn on don't fade, don't enter on these as well, just so they don't like disappear off the edge of the screen. What I can also do from here is if I set this to group and then go like 68 and just go down the list until I get to 62. Dude, that's so cool. All right, so now I want to start these off invisible. So I'm going to go down the list here. I'm going to turn off slide limit again. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy paste these triggers over to these teleportals where it's got like the error noise, like the... And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to just stagger these a little bit. So it's like, and they all like appear. So I'll set all of these, yeah, opacity to 1. Did that work? All right, so I've got all the pulses going how I want to. They kind of go a bit random there and then they fade off just like so. Kind of goes in and then it starts from going out, in, out. I think that's pretty cool. Now that we've got the background in place then, kind of a surprise to get the background in place first, but we got there. I want to try, oh, I got the bug. I want to try to start building some structures around where you fly as the cube. I think that would be quite neat. Now, I'm not exactly sure what kind of structures I want to go with here. I want to do something a little bit more unique, I think. Okay, so do you want to know the thing about making something unique? It can be kind of hard to get right. Yeah, I spent quite a while trying to experiment with different structures. My first attempt was this cube here, which, yeah, I kind of truncated a little bit still. I don't know, I just didn't feel like it fit with the level super well, and that was kind of my only idea, so I ended up actually just trying to get some inspiration and playing some older levels, because I tend to find like 1.6, 1.7 era levels, they have some really good structuring sometimes, so I kind of had a look around there. What is that timing, bro? And I eventually came across this level, which, first of all, wasn't very good. But I really like the sense of scale it had with the verticality that it used, and that's kind of something I wanted to try and like incorporate into the part in the auto level, right? And so I got to work trying to make another type of structure by like smashing together a bunch of just random bits, which I also wasn't very happy with. I don't know, it just looks kind of messy and kind of all over the place again. Feel like it didn't really match the rest of the levels super well. But on the third attempt here, I actually came up with something I was kind of happy with. So let's just try and start to build a structure here. So let's start off with maybe like just a regular rectangular structure, right? Then maybe from there we can extend a couple side bits down like so. Yeah, that looks alright, but maybe what we can also do is cut it off there and then have this be like a platform type thing, where a couple slopes come in down from the bottom here and then kind of take over from there, right? Oh, that's cool. Okay, this was just meant to be an example, but I actually really like this. And then maybe I can have like a, comes out the side of this and then kind of goes around like this perhaps. And then maybe we can have a couple bits up there that connect to theirs type thing. Yeah, just kind of building out structures like this. And then we can fill these in with like different types of blocks to make it look interesting, right? So let's go to layer 1 and we can start filling in one of these blocks. I'm thinking for this one, we can probably use some of these because they look kind of cool. And then from there, I might add some like backing blocks, because backing blocks are pretty important, right? Just to make it like feel a bit better. And then of course add in some glow just to make it look that little bit nicer, you know? Alright, cool. And now I can go ahead and start putting in some other like little details, like these pulsing sticks, for example, right? I feel like I want to do a lot of these because these are just like cool little details, you know? Yeah, like doing a bunch of cooler structures like that around the place to where it's not super tight, but it's just kind of there, you know? I think that would be quite cool. And so yeah, I started creating a few more of these like similar feeling structures where it's a bunch of smaller parts that kind of come together, right? I built this little floating island type one, and on top of it I added some spikes and a jump orb to make it look like there was like almost a bit of gameplay there maybe, which is something I kind of wanted to throw in there occasionally as well because I don't know, I think it's kind of cool. But yeah, from there it was pretty much just this long repetitive process of making these big structures. A big issue I did run into a few times is that a lot of the structures weren't fully visible on screen, but that also meant that I could just kind of use a bit of copy paste. Look, even with copy paste, putting these structures in took like an hour and a half. Like it was not a quick process at all. But also after I made a few of these structures that I'd end up copy pasting around, I started kind of combining them later in the part to like make bigger and more interesting structures. Because I wanted this part to feel very expansive and very huge. I wanted these structures to feel massive and for the cube to feel really tiny in relation to them, right? Like you're just kind of flying through a world of these massive, unique structures, you know? I don't know. That's kind of what I was aiming for. And you know what? I was actually very happy with how it looked in the end. Alright, and that is the whole part. I was up until like 11 PM last night, which doesn't sound like that late because it's not, but like, still, I normally don't stay up late making videos, so yeah, I don't know. Anyway, it's done now. Well, it's not done, but it's mostly done. Something else I did off camera is I made this little saw blade design just to kind of add around the place, fill in a couple of the gaps, you know? And I think other than that, what I probably want to do is make a real quick like portal design, which for this I kind of want to use one of them. Maybe I can make that black instead, and then have like a hexagon or something rotating around it, which is like 1. Yeah, I think that could work. Oh, I don't know if I want to copy paste it to all of these portals. It looks pretty goofy, but you know what? I might leave it. I think that's kind of funny. Alright. Of course this portal is half a block off. Why wouldn't it be? And why are these now on a different layer? I made some questionable design decisions making this, I'm not gonna lie. Alright, now I want to do some color changes in this part as well, because I think that's kind of important, and I might chuck them down here, I guess. The background is very bright in this part, I'm just realizing, and I've kind of been building off of of that the whole time, which is probably not very smart, but you know, it's fine. I'm gonna make that like just a little bit darker, like pure. Then I might want to go to like a more red first, then like more of a blue, and then back to like a purple middle ground. Maybe desaturate it a decent bit even for the middle one, so it's like... Alright, I've put in some basic color changes here. You can see it kind of goes to a more bluey color, changes back to the orange. Yeah, it kind of flips between them. Boom, 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 before going to black. Oh my god, that white pulse when it goes to black. Hang on. Dude, those pulses on the things, they disappear going into the black section. Oh my god, that looks so awesome. That's so great. I'm so happy with that. Yes, dude. Well, in terms of other things, I feel like, I don't know if we need more air deco. I kind of want to let the background like show through a bit more, right? Maybe what I can do is I can pulse whatever like color is in these objects. All right, so now I've got the pulses in place as well. You can see that they're kind of groovy. I pulse color 5, which is the blocks like behind these. You can see they kind of pulse to darker. Gives a bit more contrast to the light pulse as well, right? I don't know. I think it's kind of neat. I think it works well. Nothing super in your face, but it's there, you know, it's there. All right, cool. Well, you know what? Honestly, I think I'm going to go ahead and call this part complete. I think I'm pretty happy with this. I was going to try and do some connector deco or something, but honestly, I don't really think it needs it. Maybe it could do with like, I don't know, if I added a couple chain objects here that are like color 1 to connect that, and just like a few things like that maybe. But honestly, other than that, I think I'm pretty happy with this overall. Alright, nice. Well, on to the next part, I guess. Okay, so remember when I like mentioned that I had a block? Where is it? Here. This is where I was thinking of using this block, but honestly, I think I have a better idea. Let me turn off preview mode real quick, just so I can actually see what I'm doing. And I'm thinking of using like these that are kind of in a similar fashion where they go around in a circle, but like instead of being within one block, it's like this structure here, right? And just use a bunch of these around the place mixed with a couple other structures maybe. And what we can do is give all of these free groups, so 71, and then we can start pulsing those. So you can see they kind of go around in a circle like that. I think that's kind of cool. And of course, I'm going to need to like change the object color to be slightly visible. I don't want it to be too visible, but just ever so slightly, right? This is what the triggers look like now, by the way. Giant zigzag. All right, and then I can kind of start building some gameplay out of these. So you can see, I'm going to link these together like so, and then kind of like, what if I slant this slightly? Would that look weird? That's kind of cool, actually, slanting them. I dig it. I dig it. What I could also do is rotate them around so they're kind of going in different directions. And then maybe I can do another secondary structure like here where it's got maybe a bit more randomized with it, where it doesn't go around in a circle. I'll use these ones and kind of have them go across here like so. And then I'll give these the different groups, but like randomized a bit, right? So give that 77, give that one 76. I think that's pretty cool, yeah. And then that can be like a set of structures that come together. God, I don't know, maybe they connect with these. Yeah, it looks kind of goofy, but I feel like it kind of works. And then I can like chuck those on the bottom, chuck those up the top, and then that's like kind of a connecting thing between them, right? It's so not anything that special though. That's the thing. Maybe I can put some glow as well. Yes, that absolutely needs glow in it, dude. Absolutely. Okay, I've worked out the secret. The Krabby Patty secret formula is right here, bro. It's right here. I think I prefer without the glow for like these singular blocks, but for these, it is so much better, dude. It is like actually so much better. We need one more like bit of air deco, I feel like, and I'd like to have something that connects to it, like a connector block. Yeah, I decided I wanted to do an arrow for this, but I really didn't have any good ideas, and by any good ideas, I mean literally none. Yeah, it didn't really work out too well, so I scrapped the like connector deco connecting to it thing, and I just kind of placed down some random rock objects and then gave them the pulsing groups. Pulsing groups are kind of insane because you can get away with almost any object, and as long as you give them good pulses, it works. So yeah, chuck those in. Incorporates the 2.0/2.1 feel that we had earlier in the level in this part, even though it's, you know, not as prevalent here. And I think it turned out pretty well. Yeah, like that type of thing. I think that's kind of neat. And then I can like chuck this in here, rotate that by 45 degrees and have it point upwards. And then I'm going to bring back these structures. And I think those are the like main structures I'm going to use. I also kind of want to do some connector deco that's like this type of thing. But what I might do is set that to 1, but make the brightness lower in here, because what happens then, once I actually give these the groups like so, you can see that they're actually a bit darker in general, which I think is really, really cool. That just like gives it a bit more of a background-ish feel, right? While still having the connector deco there, you know? And I think that's a really cool way of doing it. I don't know. I like that. And now with this gameplay, I'm just kind of bouncing the player around. Like, I'm not really being too picky with what's going on. Like, I'm trying to sync it to the music, obviously. But like, I'm not stressing about it too much, right? Just kind of adding in the objects, placing them around, doing the thingy thing, you know? A really weird way to say that, but you know what I mean. Yeah, this is super cool, dude. I really, really like that. I think that matches the music, like, really, really well. Like, this part also, the colors are a bit like, I mean, I'm happy with the colors, but they feel a little bit bland in a way, but I feel like this matches this part of the song pretty well. But then eventually, it goes into this part, which that transition's beautiful, and then this part of the song's a lot more like... And I feel like this, like, deco just matches that super, super well. Alright, hell yeah, dude. And then the level should end right about here. And that comes out to 1 minute and 3 seconds. Yeah, I think that's pretty decent. All right, well, I'm going to extend this part here all the way to this section here, and then we can work out what we want to do for the end screen. Oh, the final hours. Alright, so that is most of the design that I want to have in for this part done. Very proud of this part so far, actually. Like, I'm really proud of this. I think it's really cool. But I think one more thing that I want to do, and I'm going to go to layer 5. Nope, I'm going to go to layer 6. Nope, I'm going to go to layer 7. I want to do a bit of a custom background here because I feel like that would be just kind of appropriate, you know? And for that, I want to do something that's very close to black, but not quite. So I'm going to, like, up the brightness just slightly so you can barely see it in the background there. Thinking of maybe staggering it up like this could be quite cool. I think these are too complex to be the background, yeah. Maybe even just some squares, like something simple, just some squares like in the background to kind of add a bit of variation, because that's all it really needs, right? It's just a bit of variation. So I'll give that 80 and kind of move that as a background. All right, let's give that a look in normal mode. Does that look any good? Please, can that just look good? Yeah, dude! I always make the mistake with backgrounds of trying to make them too complex and too like detailed. Backgrounds don't need to be detailed. They can be simple. I might even make it just a little bit less visible, like that type of thing, right? Perfect, dude, perfect. All right, let's fade that in real quick. All right, cool. Well, I think I'm pretty happy with that part. I think I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to leave that how it is. Okay, cool. Well, you know what that means? That means we've got one more little bit to do, and that is the end screen. Oh my God. I am going to transition out of this just by doing this and then like fading off the background. And then I'll put a block like here just so that the end screen is like a little bit delayed, right? Perfect, dude. Okay. And then I can have the end screen show up and be like, auto, whatever it's called. I have actually been trying to think of a name for this. And honestly, like this level isn't like Fallen Club where it's got like a very specific theme. This is kind of just doing its own thing. And it's just kind of, I don't know, it's just a fun level, you know? That's kind of how I'd probably describe what I've tried to make here. It's just kind of a fun level. And so I'm thinking that what I'm going to call this is I'm going to call this Spaghetti Cyborg. I think that's a pretty good name. I don't know. It's like, it's nothing fancy, but it's just a fun name, you know? Fun name for a fun level. How can you complain? A lot of this level feels very mechanical, you know? I'd say that. It feels very, cyborg. Not really. I don't need to justify the name. It's just a fun name, you know? Alright, now for the end screen. I feel like I gotta do some form of like fancy text for Spaghetti Cyborg. I'm trying to make the word Spaghetti Cyborg out of like these blocks, and I'm finding it a little bit difficult, I'm not gonna lie. It looks so goofy, but you know what? It's fine. It'll work. It's actually crazy how much freedom you have with like all of these blocks. Like you wouldn't think you'd be able to make words out of these, but you absolutely can, and it's kind of crazy. And then what I'm thinking as well is we can probably chuck half blocks in between these that are like the same as the background color, right? And then like half space those apart. No, they're slightly brighter, I think. Okay, a little bit darker, like there. Okay, you know what? It's gonna seem really, really stupid, but I can't get the coloring exactly right. So I'm gonna delete all of these and just replace them with like the regular filler blocks you usually use, like these, but scaled down. All right, cool. There's the finalized Spaghetti Cyborg logo. Boom. I'm gonna link that together just to be safe. And I'm going to bring that all the way to the end of the level. And let's see what the colors look like. And yeah, that's kind of what I expected. And then so I need to make the background like go to a nice, what color do I want to go with? I feel like just a nice bright purple will do it, you know? Yeah, that's kind of neat. That's kind of cool. If I add a bottom to that, I think that'll look a lot nicer. Okay, yeah. Sure. Let me go ahead and copy the values. Then paste them into here. And then from there, I can put that down. Do all of that. Chuck those in down there. I'm gonna stop that accent. I'm so sorry. All right, and make sure these are all group 81. Cool. All right, well, that should be that part of the end screen done. I think these I want to fade out. All right, so one last thing I think I want to do is I kind of want to have the background fade between colors, so like it goes red and then it goes like around the rainbow pretty much. So the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to spawn trigger multi-trigger that, and then we can put spawn triggers down here that after this trigger is done, like changing the background, this one will activate the next one, which once that's done, it'll activate this one, and that'll fade through all of the colors once again. Nice. Okay. And the best part about that is that it should do it even after the level, like you're in the level complete screen. That's an issue. So now you can see it slowly changes through all of the colors. That's cool. And then as a final thanks, I'm just going to put all the channel member names down the bottom underneath this thing just because, you know, I always appreciate the channel members. Alright, there we go. I made them fade on just like so, and I'm pretty happy with that, I think. Very simple end screen, but when do I ever make an end screen that's not very simple? I don't know, I think it's neat. But with that, that's pretty much the whole auto level done. Oh my god. So, like the text said at the beginning, I'm not going to be releasing this today because there might be a couple things I want to change off camera, like a few more polishing bits that I want to do before releasing the level that I just don't really want to show in this video, and stuff that might take me like a little bit more time to remember what to do, right? And so I'm not going to be releasing the level yet, but I'll do a quick showcase of it. May as well. There it is. Oh my god. I am actually so proud of this level. This is probably some of my best decoration and most unique decoration I've done in like all of GD. And all done in only 4 episodes. Oh, those 4 episodes have been difficult to make though, I tell you what. Very, very long ones. But yeah, that is the final episode of Spaghetti Cyborg, aka my auto level. Really, really hope you enjoyed. And if you haven't seen the rest of the series, definitely be sure to, you know, give it a watch, give it a go. If you enjoyed this, you probably enjoy them. But yeah, anyway, for now, I'm going to end this video off here. Thank you so much for watching. Really, really hope you enjoyed it. I already gave you a thanks, but huge thank you to all the members once again. Appreciate it. Really appreciate it. And yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you later.